Welcome back to part 2 of this, well, what I'm calling my TV collection walkthrough. But this episode is very much a bit like Brad Pitt would say, what's in the box? So, many years ago, I think maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, I had to move my DVD collection to make space into boxes and get rid of some of the other housing. And you'll see some of the reasons why, but a lot of these series, I've forgotten what's in here. I did keep a record at the time. You will see that there's a nice index card here that's showing what you're supposed to write on what's in each of these things. But I just made an Excel spreadsheet, but I haven't looked at it again. And I have to say, if there's any of these series that you would like me to do a rewatch of, I'm quite open to rewatching a lot of these and seeing what they're like and giving me thoughts on it. I'll also say there's, in this box, and I'll have another box just like it, there are some DVDs inside it. Rather than spread it out, it'll just be another way to showcase the collection, so to speak. And I know, because I had a quick look, that the first one inside actually is a DVD. This is a feature disc one. It doesn't actually say on it, but this is War of the Worlds, which has just recently had a 4K release. And War of the Worlds is a Spielberg movie that I like quite a lot. Yeah, good fun, that one. The next one is again a movie, and it is one of my all-time favourites, actually, Jerry Maguire, Cameron Cole movie. So the bonus disc and the film, and another Tom Cruise movie, in what is a bit of a theme. I'm a bit of a Tom Cruise fan. Well, certainly when it comes to his movies anyway. You know what you're getting with a Tom Cruise movie. Let's put it that way. Okay, so the first of the TV series is Law and Order, the first year. So there's episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will say it's not surprising that these made it into the box first, as these box sets were really quite large in the UK anyway. They were enormous in many ways. So there's the first disc. There's a first and second disc, should I say. There's a third and a fourth, and there's a fifth and a sixth. I'm almost certain. Yep, there it is. So they're all the same artwork on them, so nothing interesting to see. The next set that we've got is another Law and Order series. It's Special Victims Unit, season 1 again, the first year. Another large box set. I did toy with the idea of collecting a lot of the Law and Order ones, but a bit like CSI and NCIS, etc. There's just like a gazillion of those episodes. And I have to say, I watched more in UK, the Sky Living channel, or UK Living as it used to be, rather than actually these box sets. So they're just kind of sitting there. I could go through. And then to complete the set of the first year, we have Criminal Intent. It's not easy to say, apparently. And they're all DVD copies. And again, that's the first year. And that's those. Okay. Next set. What's out next? Okay, we have House. And rather randomly, it's season 2. I think I have a couple of series of House here. Probably 1, 2, 3, something like that. And House is a series that I have seen from start to finish. I've seen it the whole way through. And it very much fit that kind of monster of the week mold, except in this case the monster was a disease. And they were quite formulaic in the same time. But I do like how the series veered into looking at his mental health and how his physical injuries manifested themselves in his personality, which was not so wonderful. Oh, this is an interesting one. Alfred Hitchcock Presents Season 1. I believe there's a number of discs to this. They're playback release in the UK from Universal. Interestingly, I don't think I've watched one episode of these. And given that I'm making my way through the Hitchcock movies at the moment, this might be a nice little companion to that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all PGs. That's interesting. Next up, oh, another unusual-ish series. This one's Tilt, and you may be able to see But this was an ESPN show, about, as you can see, gambling and mainly poker, which only has 8 episodes of. I think that's the only disc that there is within the set. I think it was only one. Yeah, it certainly was. I think it had Michael Madsen in it, I think, as one of the characters, but I quite like Tilt. I think there was a second series of it, but I imported that one from the US, and yeah, I may go back and watch that, especially now I've got myself a more dedicated region free player. The next one you may have caught a glimpse at is one of a lot of people's favourites. Oh, there was a third series or season finale of Tilt. Sorry, in the back, you see that? So 9 episodes. It's Firefly. I mean, the wonderful, wonderful Firefly, the complete series. It's always a pity there was never more of it, but what we did get was excellent, and one of those shows that spawned loads of character actors that use lots of character actors that appeared in many other things. So I can't not help but see Alan Tudyk everywhere. I can't help but see Gina Torres everywhere. You don't see Adam Baldwin quite as much, etc. But yeah, more Firefly. Okay, so we have another movie, one of my favourites, De Palma film, The Intouchables. I really should upgrade that. It's one of those films I may have seen 20 times. Fabulous. Okay, another new series, same front and back, 2.5 million, the first season. I mean, you see the young chap there. I think when he got older it lost some of its appeal a little bit, but a fine show, a very funny show of that time period. Okay, next I do have a number of these series, and I have watched a lot of these when I got them. I was very happy to get them. Cheers. I love Cheers. There's Coach and Carla, Sam and Shelley Long. Cheers will be timeless to me. One of those series that will never go old. So multiple series of that. Then we're on to Torchwood, which, interestingly enough, I didn't see fit to keep that alongside the rest of my Doctor Who collection and DVD collection. I've binned it in here. And Torchwood's alright. I don't think it's fabulous by any regard. Film, we've Saving Private Ryan. I didn't realise I actually had the DVD of Saving Private Ryan. I do have it now on streaming in higher resolution, which is kind of what happened in an awful lot of Hollywood movies for me, is that I had them in DVD, and if I want a better quality version of it, the extras are the same in many ways, but we've got that. Okay, another interesting one. So, Jessica Alba. Oh boy, I had such a crush on Jessica Alba back in the days. This was also a very fine series, Dark Angel. 2 series that it ran for, and very fine. She was a genetically altered human, so to speak, and they basically abducted kids and experimented on them, as I remember. So multiple series of that. Season 1. And there's season 2 starting. More Jessica Alba. Very fine actress, I have to say. Not as often happens to these people. Like, she was a formidable physical presence on the stage, a bit like Buffy. I mean, it was definitely feeding off that Buffy vibe that there was. Okay, another great series. This one, a BBC one, one that they're touting as being made for another series, and that's Life on Mars. Philip Glenister there, John Sim. I loved Life on Mars so much, both in terms of the setting, the storytelling, the underlying mystery, and, well, frankly, it changed how I dressed for a while, as I definitely had to get one of those coats. So, another 2 discs there. I look forward to actually watching more of that as it is. Oh, one stuck away. It's a really interesting series. Carnivle, which is a hit, one of those early HBO series. Fabulous. I have to say, I'm struggling to remember what actually happened in Carnivle. It's been many years since they've seen it, but really, like, it's one of those series that was very much in the vein of, God, this is super interesting. So another 3 discs or 6 discs of that, so 3 sets. And then I have the second series as well, which did away with the character art, as you can see, for the discs in the second bit. But that's another one that I probably could and should revisit. Next, a series that I don't think I ever watched more than one episode of, and that was Las Vegas with James Caan. Obviously set in Las Vegas, and looking at that, you can see there's actually, this has appeared a couple of times for something that I would say I've never been to Vegas, nor have I any real desire to go to Vegas, but I seem to have accrued a lot of piece of film and memorabilia that relate to that. I have season 2 as well. Lo and behold, who knew? Maybe it's a fantastic series. Oh, one of my hallowed top 5, I would say. So this is the complete second season of Veronica Mars. I think Veronica Mars is, like I just said, one of my top 5 TV series of all time. As has often been said by the creator, Rob Thomas. He created it with the idea that if you were in high school and had a week to think about coming back to everything everybody said, this would manifest itself in Veronica Mars. Brilliant. I absolutely love Enrico Colantoni, Kristen Bell. Actually, interestingly about Kristen Bell, my wife banned me from having her as a backdrop because she thought I was so attracted to her that she was in my backdrops for the time. I loved it so much. But as I said there at the time, I was very attracted to your character rather than anything else. There's series 3. Again, another one of those shows that spawned lots of character actors that appeared in other places. Tina Margarino, etc. Love Veronica Mars. Next, Chuck season 1. There's Adam Baldwin back. Zachary Levi. So that continues on for another couple of discs. There's 3, 4. Then we have The Office, The American Office, season 2. I mean, for some of these, I'm only assuming there's multiple series in there as well of these, that I wouldn't just have season 2. Another season 2 of Charmed, a series that I've seen maybe 3 or 4 series of. The story of the witches. Sisters, actually a lot better than I think people remember it to be. I think Charmed's pretty good. The fact that it lasted so long kind of buys into that theory. Another season 2. What the heck? Supernatural. Supernatural's a pretty great show. Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. Again, very much in that idea of monster of the week. There's season 3. Sorry to change the artwork, although it's the same for the first 2 discs. Yeah, they've kept the same artwork the whole way through for each of those discs. Oh, I've seen this on one of somebody's, I think it may have been Horror and Todge's videos. This was Rome. This was another large set, too big to be kept on the shelf as a single series. So we have Rome, disc 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And then the first series, woohoo, of Dexter. I think Dexter's pretty fantastic. Interestingly, I had an 18 rating here, 15 in Ireland. But Dexter, the story of a crime scene cleaner who turned out to be a serial killer, very much using that idea of an anti-hero as strongly as they could. And another series too, you've probably just seen that pop out, yeah. The end of one. But The Shield. Shield is one of those hallowed crime shows that I think completely deserves it. It was so hallowed, in fact, that Michael Chiklis got his whole career made out of it. And there's season 4. Some great character actors in that as well. Right, we go to the second set. It's going to be a long video, so more Shield. Let's see what we have. So, Warehouse. This House Season 1 starts. So I knew I would more than likely have Season 1 in there. Oh, this is all a bit tight in here. Let's see if I can create a bit of room. More House. Yeah. House Series 1. The Office, this time the first series of the British one. So Ricky Gervais's rather excellent look at the mockumentary. So 2 discs of that, and then we're into the second series of Bo Selecta, which in current times I don't think you can buy, or certainly it's been talked about being pulled. Third series of it there as well. Curb Your Enthusiasm, first series. Fantastic, Larry David. Watchable at any time. Took that idea of The Office and that kind of mockumentary and went with it. A decent BBC show. So Adrian Lester and etc. In Hustle. I mean, one of those con artist kind of dramas. Around for a couple of series. I may have a couple of series of it, I think. It was clever enough. Oh, another one. American crime show Boomtown. I think I can only think of him as Danny, but one of the guys out of New Kids on the Block is his real name. I cannot for the life of me remember. Danny out of Blue Bloods, which is fantastic. I don't actually own any Blue Bloods, but Boomtown was his first foray in TV and into TV crime at that stage. So first series of that. I think that maybe that only ran for a series. You're probably seeing a theme of American crime shows. I have lots of Seinfeld. So this one of Season 1 there. More Seinfeld. I know Seinfeld is extremely hallowed. I think it stood up quite well. Yeah, that goes up to Season 3. I think Season 1, 2 and 3 all came out in the one box, if I remember correctly. And then we have some Discovery Channel. So Everest Beyond the Limit told the story of people going to the top of Everest. I think a lot of those Discovery Channel documentary kind of shows, while completely formulaic, were very interesting. Second series. Well, we know we love a second series here of Numbers, which told the story of a crime show. Procedural crime show where they use maths, and with me being a maths teacher by trade, I mean, you'd probably think I love that film or that show more than I do. Again, the formula ran dry after a while. There's only so far you can take mathematical modelling. Another one, BBC. Well, this one, sorry, wasn't Discovery. This was BBC, and this is a pretty terrific documentary series called Tribe, where I can't remember the guy that did the documentarian, should I say, went to various tribes around the world. You'll see series 1 had Suri come by, and Adi, and then had some extras in it, but he basically went and lived amongst these tribes in various parts of the world, and you know, just tremendous. Series 2, we've more. So this 4 is Nyangtom, Hamar, Dasnek, Barongo, Darhad Cinema. Just an absolutely tremendous TV series, one that I had forgotten that I had. And there's series 3. So another set of tribes, just all around the world, not restricted to one region, and their traditions and their cultures that made that up. Like I say, absolutely terrific. Oh, interesting. Eliza Dushku, what she did after being Faith and Buffy. She did True Calling. I can't remember what True Calling was about. Was it she's seen the last time before somebody died, maybe something like that, the last seconds? Was that what that was about? I could be completely wrong, but True Calling's there. Season 1, Season 2. God, We're right into the memory troves here. Next one, Sliders, Jerry O'Connell, and the dwarf out of John Rhys Davies, was it, out of Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Gimli. Sliders, basically people sliding the other dimensions. I think it was more like a modern day Quantum Leap. I have a couple of series of it here. Yeah, there's up to the third series. I think that was it. I don't think I watched the third series. I think I fell off it before it. But that's another one I could revisit. Definitely would be open to doing that. A series that hasn't aged very well, and that's Entourage, which told the story of Vincent Chase, with an amazing turn as Ari Gold, by Jeremy Piven in it as well. It's really the highlight of the show in many ways, but it's very much, I enjoyed it at the time because it's nice to see that kind of lifestyle through somebody else, but it's completely misogynistic. It becomes more difficult to watch the older that you get. So I have the number series of that, series 2, series 3, and thankfully we're back to Cheers. So season 1, more Cheers the better. That is a series I could very well go back and finish. With Columbo, love Columbo. So season 1 there, it's still something that's on regularly during the daytime. It's like your daytime movie, and I could watch Columbo all day. But one more thing, just Peter Falk is just incredible. I have a little set of thrillers, so interesting films that I would never thought. Man Who Knew Too Much. I think this is one of those cheap box sets. The Lady Vanishes, The Man with the Golden Arm. Man, I didn't know I had those movies in DVD form. I just thought the first time that I had them or seen them was on Criterion in some ways. Suddenly, Inside Man. So classic thrillers from the 30s, 40s. DVDs, so they're films. Homicide: Life in the Street. I don't think I ever got around to watching. It was very much in that. I think I'd watched The Wire, and I think Homicide: Life in the Street is David Simon's previous show. So that's there. Oh, what have we got? Oh, this is interesting. So the styling on this artwork, you may be able to see if I zoom it in. That is Without a Trace season 3, and they made them blank, but they made them. No. Let me just check. No, they're one-sided only. Without a Trace, they made blank, obviously in keeping with the theme of people going missing and not knowing where they are. Anthony DePaglia, I think Without a Trace is pretty good. It's one of those things, again, crime procedural. I could watch kind of all day. You've seen probably in part 1 there was a lot of CSI in there. 4400, that's an interesting one as well. That's the end of Without a Trace. 4400 about people going missing and then coming back. I think I always get the one. Is that the 100? That's 4400 people all lived together. It went on for a couple of series. I think I have a couple of series of it throughout the collection somewhere. But yeah, not bad. Then Spooks. Spooks was a BBC TV show about MI5, MI6. I can't remember which one was which. But yeah, interesting there. That was one of the first high production shows that I remember the BBC really doing, so it cost a lot of money. We have series 1. We found a series 1 of Will and Grace. Will and Grace, hilarious. Which, I mean, the most interesting thing in retrospect about Will and Grace is the fact that the two side characters were really the stars of the shows. It wasn't really Will or Grace. It was Jack and Karen that were very much the stars of that show. And I think you'll see that, yeah, we're in series 2 here. Still series 2. Oh, would you look at that? Series 3. Series 3. Oh, it's series 4. Different art style. Series 4. Series 5. Yep, series 5 is there. And series 6. I will say it's a real shame to breaking up that series, because while those boxes were very bulky, they also were very beautiful. The stripes of them were gorgeous, And then I'll finish this box set, this episode of What's in the Box, pretty much with series 2 of Cheers, which interestingly just takes the artwork from series 1 and puts it in a different colour. Oh! Sneaking another series of 2.5 Men there as well. So that's the next part of my TV collection done. You see, it's pretty extensive. The good news, bad news is there's another one of these boxes to go, although it has a lot of games and DVDs inside it rather than the TV inside it. But I'll save that for the next part. If you enjoyed this, if you made it to the end, congratulations. Please tell me if any of these were any particular favourites of yours. Are there any that you see that I'm missing so far? Anything that's more recent, you can see a lot of these were very 90s. So yeah, you'll see that there's a lot of what would have been my favourite TV shows, and there was a curse certainly of collecting TV shows at the time, which was once you had one series of something, you felt like you had to complete. That completionist or that collector's part of it kicked in and went, need to have all of these. And then I ultimately stuck them inside a box, which gives you a feel for format wars, I think. So I think it's one of the reasons that I'm so reluctant to move to 4K, although I have a couple of 4K releases there. So that's that. See anything you like there, please let me know. If you'd like me to go through and do rewatches of these, I certainly can. I have been flirting with the idea of going back and doing the original Battlestar Galactica as a series of watch throughs, and then going through that. I've actually seen the first feature-length episode of that in preparation for that. So let me know what you think of that or otherwise, and I'll catch you again soon. All the best. Bye.